fresh meat.
I'm Gimli. Let's break Diablo 2 down to the pixel. In this video, I want to show you the Project Diablo 2 file structure and file types, how you can extract them with MPQ Editor, what is a list file, and some Datafileguides for more informations. As always, all you need is linked in the description down below. Let's get into it. At first, there's a PDF document, which is a beginner's guide for Diablo 2 mod making. It's pretty old. This is the latest version 1.4. You can find it in the links. And this is a pretty good PDF documentation about the game. And the first chapter is already right for us. So that's the main game files for Diablo. That's so-called MPQ files. And in this MPQ files, that's kind of archives. All the game data are stored within and a little bit separated and split away for different types of data in there. The file types which are in there are usually text files, bin files, just compiled versions of text files, so you can completely ignore them. Some animations will be COF files, DC6 will be graphic files for items, for example, animations for DCC, and what is the most important for our map making is DC1. That's the map file itself, and the DT1 is the file containing all the graphics which are used in the mapped files. So we get into this later. That's the main file types, just for explanation. All right, how you can find them? Usually you go into your drive where you installed Diablo 2, so usually program files, Diablo whatever. I just installed a separate folder. And this is the original game in here. And we have the Project D2 folder, and here are all the game files stored from Project Diablo 2. So how we can get into them? We need an MPQ editor, and you can find this also in the links below. And usually you need two files, so the MPQ editor itself and this Diablo 2 Uber list file. Let's go into the next topic. The list file contains text file names which are stored within the MPQ files. That's just a help for us because in the beginning they were encrypted, so you can't see anything in the MPQ files. That's why you need this list file. The people already did the work for you and get it running. So we're starting MPQ editor. And the first time we need to configure it a little bit, and we need our work directory. This will be the directory where we could extract all the game files. In my case, I just put it in my folder where my MPQ editor is and just call it extract. And we need a path for our list file, which is also in the same path in here. All right, nothing else, and we are good to go. To make life easier, you can just make it a little bit bigger so you get this icon on its own. It's not in a separate menu. Okay, this is the editor, and we can open the MPQ files, and so you can see what is a list file means. We're going to the game files, for example, and choosing D2 SFX, which are the sound effects. And when I open this file, we can see there are a lot of file 000 whatever, and that's audio files, for example, and we have a lot of them. And this is the purpose where the list file comes in. So if you're getting something like this and the files are pretty unknown for its names, and even if you scroll a little bit on the left side to the structure, you can see only some sound effects for cursors are listed in here in this folders. So we can add a list file to this MPQ. Just choose the one we have already, and then we can see, oops, a lot of files are gone here because they are already known from our list file. And we can see there's a lot more folders on here, and they contain even more of the WAV files, and they are named correctly, are in the correct structure in here. So this is what list files comes in handy, just for explanation. We completely skipped this SFX MPQ because we don't need them for mapping. So we just open the next. And the important part for extracting our files, that's just my way. I always starting with the newest version of MPQs and then go to the oldest version, and when I extract stuff I don't overwrite anything, so I always have the newest version. The first file we're gonna start with is PD2 maps.mpq, and in here we having the folder data global tiles. Tiles are always based for the maps, and in here we have different acts, and an expansion map folder. There are the current DS1 files, that's the current maps we have in Project Diablo 2. Other acts maybe got some stuff modified or separate than the original game, and that's why they are as well in here. Okay, to extract these files we need all of them. We just choose the data folder, and then you can just right click extract, or in our case I just hit F5 and we can see all the files will be extracted. Alright, move on to the next MPQ file, in this case PD2 data. And we can also see in here there's a lot of text files and also some string tables. And we also need all of them, so click the data folder again and extract. Okay, move on to the next one. It's PD2 assets.mpq. That's the main graphics, so the DT1 files, and we can find them in data global titles and PD2 assets mainly. And in here we can see we have all the DT1 files. But for purpose to make life easier, we also extract the full path of the data. Alright, so we're going to patch d2.mpq. And now he's already asking for a list file, so we can choose the one we have already. And hit OK. And in here we can see also some late game patches, and we only need titles folder from this one. So we just click on that and extract it. And if you're asked for overwriting existing one, we always say no to all. So that makes sure you're always having the latest version. Alright, let's move on to the game, and we are going to the main MPQ files of the original game, not the Project Diablo 2 anymore. And we are starting with D2 expansion in this case. And as well in here, data global, we're just going for tiles folder, and we say no to all. Alright, move on to D2 data as next. And in here, data global tiles as well. And as always, no. Alright, that's it. So we're having all the stuff extracted in our folder, data global tiles, and we can see a lot of folders in here. And we are having expansion maps, the map files, the DS1 files, and we also can see PD2 assets. We have graphic files in here. So this is the extraction of the game files. Alright, what we can do is to clean it up a little bit, it goes to data global Excel, and we can see we have text files and bin files, and the bin files just some kind of converted files from the text files. So to make life later a little bit easier, we can just delete all the bin files. We don't need them. So we have just the text files in here, because we need to edit some of them later. All right. Then the last part of this video is I want to show you file guides for Diablo 2 files. You can find them on the link in the description below, and I have downloaded them already for offline usage. You can just run it online. One is for D2R, so that means Diablo 2 Resurrected Data Guide. This is an updated, corrected version, and it got pretty colors to find yourself easier into reading it and know what's going on in here, and something is already linked as well. So this is a pretty good file guide because we need to edit some text files later on, so you have already seen this. And the second file guide is an older version, but it's a Diablo 2 file guide, which looks kind of similar. It's not that pretty colored, but it has some information as well in here. So these two file guides you can find in the link below. Make sure to check it out if you need something later on to change or to get yourself some information if something is not working. All right. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let's get to the next video.